mic's on? We turn the mic's on?
Hello, it's on.
Mine's on as well.
We have to get closer.
Mine's not on yet.
Is yours on?
Good. Is mine on?
No, yours isn't, mine's not.
I've got a very loud voice.
Switch.
Oh, it's that easy. Good afternoon, everybody.
Mine's not.
There we are.
Wow, there are so many people here. We should have had program A for this. This is fantastic. You do realise you're not actually going to meet Jodie Whittaker. Okay, good. I know you may have been convinced when you saw my friend here on the right, but this isn't Jodie Whittaker. Okay, so I'll introduce myself first, and we'll all introduce ourselves. My name is Edward Russell, and I work on Doctor Who, on the current show in the UK. Not for much longer. I'm there until the end of the year, and after 12 years I'm going to go off and do other things, but I'm still there at the moment, and so I am aware of what's going on with Jodie, and I'm not going to give anything away, but I know you're going to ask questions.
Burn those bridges.
Yeah, you had opportunities last night when you could have bought me a drink, but maybe I'm bribable, but I need to stand back and just let these guys introduce themselves first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jen Fennick. I'm the co-author of Red, White, and Who, the story of Doctor Who in America. I'm also the costume events director at Li Who, and I'm the assistant masquerade director at Gallifrey, and I'm a longtime Doctor Who fan.
I'm Jennifer Adams Kelly. I'm also a co-author on Red, White, and Who, and I run the Gallifrey Masquerade, and I have been running conventions and have been in fandom for decades.
I'm Stephen Chapansky. I'm a Doctor Who podcaster on Radio Free Scar for the past 11 plus years, as well as Lacey Doctor Who.
And can I just take this opportunity to selfishly say, because this is my final panel today, that coming out here, this is the first convention I've been to in the States. The only conventions I've done before are official ones that we've been done at the BBC, which are very different, and I don't know if you've been to them, they're much more corporate. This is the most amazing experience I've had. You are all such wonderful people, and it's just been fascinating to stand there and watch you. And I'm going to go back and tell everybody back at the BBC, you know, these are the real people. This is what matters. We sit there in the studio for 9 months and make the show, and it's all very hard work and intense, but what really matters is seeing you guys and seeing people like dress up as Jodie already is just incredible. So thank you for being so warm and friendly to me. But enough about me. Okay, well, where should we start? What a hot topic. I mean, the big question is a female doctor, and how do people feel about a female doctor? I don't know if we've got different opinions. Well, some very loud clapping, but some very definite not clapping. So I think we've got a split audience here, and I'm happy to discuss it. So I mean, Stephen, your feelings? You feel free to be open. You know.
I think that the argument that I see against a female doctor is often goes down to tradition, and I find that tradition, holds back progress to the point, drinking too much on your 21st birthday and trying to recreate that for 40 years, to keeping up Confederate war statues. I think that it's just holds back everything, and I think that and inside the actual narrative of the show, if you mix the molecules up enough at the very beginning of an embryo cycle, you can probably make it male or female. So it's almost like a remarkable coincidence that 13 or 14 times you've rolled the dice and wound up with a straight white male as a doctor. So it's actually...
not sure about straight.
Maybe the actors at least, So I think
I'm not sure about that either.
I think it's high time. I think it's high time for a woman doctor. I think it's exciting for where they can go with the character to see, how a woman doctor will react to the Doctor Who universe, and also how much of the same it might actually be as well.
Yeah, and you feel the same, do you?
Yeah, I think Doctor Who's all about crushing traditions. If you think back when we first found out about the show coming back in 2005, and we saw the first glimpse of Christopher Eccleston as a doctor, there are many people who are like, that's not the doctor, where's the Edwardian stuff, where's the floofy hair, where's the question marks? And I think it's just bad that people are just not liking change. People never like change, and so to have something so radical change in a character, where, it's kind of disconcerting to a lot of people, and so they get doubled down and saying this cannot happen because it's like it's kind of disturbing their worldview if it does.
My argument has been for many years, if you've got a species that can change height, can change weight, can change hair color, eye color, size of nose, whether or not they have hair, skin texture, age, voice and accent, but you can't change gender. There's something radically wrong. You accept like 99% of this. Why can't you accept the last point? It makes no sense that they would not be able to do that. And obviously the modern series, especially the last couple of years, Moffat has been pushing by showing us, the general going from Ken Bones to, gorgeous black woman. So it's about time. And just, I'm a longtime science fiction fan. I'm as old as this TV show. And when I was growing up, my role models were people like Captain Kirk and Batman, and young girls always had to look up to boys, or you got to be Catwoman, or you got to be Batgirl, or you got to be Nurse Chapel when you were playing, whatever. And as Jennifer and I had been talking, because we're both cosplayers also, we finally get to dress up as a doctor without having to either cosplay or be the femme version of a male doctor. And I think it's awesome, and I'm really excited for young women and for little girls to finally be able to look up and say, that's my doctor.
We have an opinion from the Fifth Doctor
Yes.
here, yes.
Well, no, it's just like, it's like you said, they were, chipping away at breaking the ceiling, starting with Mel's turning into River Song. They say, okay, you can change race. And they just kind of like, they go, okay, tick that box. And then there was Missy, and as you were saying, the other regeneration of the California General.
Yeah.
And so they've been like working up to this, so it's like,
And of course Missy.
chipping away at it.
Yeah.
But so I think, like I said, they started trying to break that ceiling by showing that you can change race.
Yeah, but this is an argument that's going on, for decades at least. I've been Doctor Who fan from 1978, and Jennifer's been about
From 81,
yeah. So it's always been kind of out there, and it kind of, as Steve was saying, tradition is like not always a great thing.
But people were upset, when Peter Davison was announced because he was so
Too
young.
Yeah, and Matt Smith people
Right.
were having absolute like flip outs because again he was even younger,
Well, his older fans.
and then Capaldi was too old.
Okay, so we've got three definite opinions for Jodie and
Right.
for three very good reasons. I'd love to hear from somebody who is brave enough to say why you don't think there should be a female doctor. I know there are people in the room, and we want to hear your opinion, and we want to be honest and discuss it. Who's going to be brave and say they don't believe that there should be a female doctor? I don't believe there is.
Well, I think I go in the middle of the road, and what I mean by that is, as a longtime fan, going back to the 80s, like you said, tradition. So my honest opinion is that I'm a little disappointed, but open to see where it goes.
Okay. But there is an argument that I think we all get that men need a pacifist role model of their same gender, and that's what the Doctor gave them. How do we feel about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
companion.
so we got the you in the white shirt, blonde hair.
I think that's a very good thing, but we're also not deleting the past doctors. They exist. And it's a very prominent, it is a thing that's very prominent for male characters in pop culture and science fiction. Luke Skywalker wins at the end of Star Wars because he throws aside his lightsaber and decides to save his dad out of love, not through violence. You have so many pop culture characters for young boys right now. Look at How to Save Your Dragon and Hiccup. Everything that they're going with right now is a rejection of violence and finding clever pacifist means to win the day. And so much of the stuff that I watch with my nieces and nephews is exactly like that. So I think men have those characters and they exist, and past doctors will always exist. But women also need those additional complex characters. No one's taking the pacifist male doctor away, we're just adding.
You've made a very valid comment that it's not taking the past away. It's still there. There's 54 years of a male doctor, what exists that we can watch and stuff like that. It's a very valid point.
Yeah. And I've seen that point come up, but it's always offered online at least as a dismissive. Well, you've got 54 years to watch. Just go watch that and leave us have fun. And that's really the wrong attitude, because as Doctor Who fans, we all kind of have to support ourselves for each other. That okay, you don't like the idea of the girl doctor or the woman doctor, but you can still be a fan of the show, and we still accept you in the fandom. Just like you're not a Sylvester McCoy fan, or you're not a Matt Smith fan. Everybody has their own era, and okay, this era is not yours. You can still be a part of the group.
Yeah, I'll admit that like as recently as 2 or 3 years ago, I don't think I was as willing to accept a woman doctor as I was today.
I was the same. I agree.
Yeah. And that might just be because I was thinking of, for instance, like just the traditional doctor companion role, which is always male doctor, female companion. I'm thinking of the climax to Rose, where the doctor's being held by autons, and it's Rose who sort of swings in and like kicks the autons over and basically saves the Doctor. And I was trying to think, how would that be if it was subverted? It was a female Doctor being held, and then it was a male companion swinging in to save the day. How would you sort of, you know, upset the stereotypes and sort of make that a scene and not have it be like a sexist thing? And I don't know how to do that, but I'm much more open to it, and I believe the writers who are creating the show will probably find ways around that to sort of get around that traditional thing. Because, you know, if it is a male companion in the TARDIS and such, you know, it would be bad to have the Jodie Whittaker's Doctor save him all the time, because that actually is bad. It looks bad on her having such a weak person in her employ, so to speak. You know.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
There's somebody with a burgundy shirt or sweatshirt all the way in the back. No, yeah.
I just don't know how anybody can say either way whether they like this person as a doctor until you actually see it on the screen and
Very, very valid.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's discuss what we have seen, which is the costume. I mean, what?
No.
And the release video too.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
one
Release
minute.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go on.
Yeah, there's somebody with her hand up with glasses, right? Yeah. You.
She's been,
I just think that the whole argument of boys need this role model growing up, and they need to learn how to solve things without violence. Girls have guns too. Girls fight more. Why don't girls need a pacifist role model?
Yeah. Great point.
Well, you were talking about companions, but I mean, they've announced the companions. We've got an older male, we've got a younger male, and we've got a younger female. And obviously we don't know the relationship at all between the Doctor and these three people. But I think I like the fact that there's multiple people in there, and there's not just going to be a single person to like save her all the time.
I mean,
so.
it is a bit weird that in 54 years he's always travelled with a very beautiful woman. Don't you think that's a bit strange?
Right.
That's, yeah. Go
I
on.
just want to say, like, it's also important to remember we've had male companions before
Yeah.
who have also helped out the Doctor. So it's not like it's always been male Doctor, female companion.
That's
male
the
doctor,
general, you know, the more often.
There's
Yeah.
been male companions who've had like to take control and
Yeah.
you know,
Captain
do
Jack,
things for
you
the
know.
Doctor. save the Doctor.
Or Ian, because the original
So
Doctor is
there's
so
that-
old,
there's
he
still
became
that-
really
Yeah,
old.
and Harry the same, you know,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
fourth Doctor and so on.
And even Rory sometimes got to.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
When he wasn't dying.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
a Rory fan.
But the male companions, for the most part, mostly been in tandem with another female companion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
except for Jamie for the short period
Very
of time, and
short-
Turlo for a short period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Your hand's been up for ages.
Yes, I've been watching Doctor Who since the 1980s. When they announced the female Doctor, it was more of a culture shock. And as time wore on, I got used to the idea of a female Doctor and accepting it more.
Yeah. I think, you know, it is a shock, and I understand there was a knee-jerk reaction from a lot of people. I get that, but as somebody said, we've got to wait and see. How can we judge something that we've not seen on TV yet?
Right.
But as I said, we have seen, or you said that we have seen the trailer. I mean, what are our thoughts on the trailer? That you know, you've come dressed a little like the Jodie in that preview.
I was shocked. I mean, we had. I'm also admin on Gallifrey Base, and there had been a lot of like rumors that things were happening, and especially the last week or two, there was, and Jodie's name had been sort of bandied about, and everybody was like, "Well, is Chibnall actually going to go there? Is he actually going to do this?" And as soon as like the first frame, I'm like, "Okay, that is not a man." I could just the stature, etc. And when she turned around, it's like, "Wow, okay, that's great." My initial reaction, I'm a big fan of Jodie Whittaker as an actress. But I wasn't sure if she was the person, like, could she pull off the quirkiness that I associate with the Doctor? But I've been watching like some other stuff. A couple of people have recommended a few things, and she started to grow on me on that. Because I mostly know her as a dramatic actress, either Broadchurch and also Cranford, and Venus and a couple of other things, which is not, I would say, not necessarily Doctor-esque.
Not Doctor-ish, yeah.
But I'm definitely willing to give her a try. I'm more concerned about the writing and how everything is going to go. This is the big picture, because we're also getting a new writer, we're getting new writing staff. It's a whole new slate. So
yeah, I think that's going to be the most important thing is how they treat the Doctor as Doctor, or are they going, how my biggest worry, I think, is they're gonna stereotype, okay, it's a woman, so does the doctor now get a period? So the doctor's crappy today is gonna shoot your head off because she's on the rag. I don't know.
Watch out, darling, she's coming.
And they do stuff like that. That would be really disappointing because no one cared. The doctor had a doctor had a cold, or the doctor had a cramp, or what, a sore muscle or whatever. It didn't matter what he did, but if they're going to make the doctor weaker just because they happen to have different biology now, that's just going to be a real big disappointment.
Yeah, but the doctor's never physically strong. He's got superpowers in some kind of way that he can breathe and
Mental
move around.
powers.
Yeah.
Mental powers, but he's never been particularly physically strong. So
Right,
why?
but I think just more of how they come across as not
Physical
not physical presence, being able to beat things up, but the physical
John
presence
Bird
as
was-
being able to function day to day
Okay,
without having
because
to be a slave to the biology.
Okay, because it is a fact. There will nobody in this room will dispute that men are physically stronger than women. Would you agree with that?
No.
Okay, I wanted to do this. Is it a fact that women are mentally stronger than men?
Usually.
Well, there you go. You're changing the facts to suit you.
No, I was going to say that many men are stronger than women, but there are women, especially in the armed forces, who can kick a lot of men's butts. It all depends on just physicality.
It's an individual person.
And training.
We're gonna have a
and
fight
everything
up here to prove it.
Have you ever seen a doctor win a fist fight really in 54
No,
years?
exactly.
Without using Aikido, I don't think we have.
else. No.
No.
So.
I think my reaction to watching the opening video, I remember saying it, like watching it, and I didn't actually twig until I saw literally her eye opening up.
Yeah.
Because I was almost in like denial, like, oh no, they're gonna do another mic. And then when I saw that, I just remember saying, they did it, and I was happy. But it was only when I saw the reaction videos of around the internet that day. It was particularly Crystal Deeds, because they did on the Doctor Who fan show, they did like a live, they put a camera on her, see how she would react. And just her like, I'm a straight white guy. I take, this, in this world, I can take stuff like this for granted, And a new person coming into a show is going to be basically look like me. And it's the reaction of women, grown women who've been fans for 30, 40 years, girls who are 8 or 10 years old have the same emotional reaction. It was overwhelming, actually. That they have someone they can directly look to. They don't have to sort of draw the lines to. They have someone who more or less looks like them up on screen.
Yeah, and especially coming, I think, at the heels of Wonder Woman, which, again, the fandom is torn, but most women I know love that film. I watched it twice. I've cried through it, start to finish, without even trying. Just like, there's something that